The night rain fell like punishment from the heavens as I stood outside my own house, shivering and drenched. My wife had just thrown me out, her words still echoing in my ears. "Maybe now you'll understand what it feels like to be unwanted." She had cheated on me, humiliated me, and left me to rot in the storm. I pounded on the door once, not because I wanted back in, but because I couldn't believe the woman I married had become so cruel. She knew I had discovered her affair. She didn't even bother denying it. She admitted it proudly, smirking as though betraying me was some kind of victory. I thought about all the sacrifices I had made for her, the house, the comfort, the trips, the way I had bent over backwards to make her happy. But to her, I was boring and predictable. She wanted excitement, she said. So she found it in another man, a lowlife who could never give her the life I did. But as the rain poured, I made myself a promise. If she wanted a lesson, then I would teach her one she would never forget. And I wasn't going to do it alone. A familiar black SUV pulled up in front of the house. Out stepped my bodyguard, a man who had been with me for years, loyal, silent, and deadly when he needed to be. When he saw me standing in the rain, his jaw tightened. He didn't ask questions, because he already knew enough. He stormed up to the door and banged on it with such force that the entire frame shook. My wife opened it, expecting me, but when she saw him standing beside me, her arrogant smile faltered. For the first time, she looked afraid. "You don't throw a man like him out in the rain," my bodyguard growled. "And you don't think betrayal comes without a price." His words froze her. She tried to laugh it off, saying it was just a fight, but her voice trembled. I stepped forward then, no longer the broken man she thought she could toy with. I told her, calmly but firmly, that the marriage was over. But I wasn't going to simply walk away. She had embarrassed me, lied to me, and wasted my years. Now it was my turn. Within days, I set everything in motion. I had already secured the proof of her infidelity. Messages, photos, hotel receipts. My bodyguard, who knew people in the right places, made sure the evidence landed in the hands of her family, friends, and even her workplace. Her carefully built image of being a perfect wife shattered overnight. The man she cheated with abandoned her the moment things got messy. He didn't want to be caught in the storm. So she stood alone, surrounded by whispers, her reputation in ruins. The woman who once laughed in my face now couldn't even leave the house without people looking at her with disgust. Meanwhile, I filed for divorce. The lawyers, armed with undeniable proof of her betrayal, tore her apart in court. She left with nothing. No house, no money, not even the car she loved showing off in front of her friends. Everything she had once used to flaunt her lifestyle was stripped away. On the day the divorce was finalized, she showed up outside the courthouse, drenched in tears, begging me for another chance. She claimed she had been blinded, that she made a mistake. But I only smiled. For once, the power was in my hands. "You wanted me to feel unwanted," I told her coldly. "Now you'll know what it means to be nothing." Then I walked away with my bodyguard by my side, not sparing her another glance. The rain that once fell on me like misery had now turned into a cleansing storm. She was left with her shame, while I walked forward free, stronger than before. And that was the sweetest revenge, watching her drown in the very lesson she thought she was teaching me.